Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here at weatherweb.net, and this is your look ahead video updated on Wednesday the 18th of December. Thanks again for watching. Now, the 850s from the ECMWF showing how the cold snap that we've got coming up actually isn't going to be lasting that long. Snap is probably the best way to describe it. You notice here temperatures falling off into the weekend. These are the 850s from the ECMWF. But then you notice a pick up next week, and it doesn't matter whether you're in Glasgow or in London. Same sort of pattern prevails. We see this fall off in temperatures and then this rise heading into the early part of next week. Now, that's not to say that we're going to be going back into mild conditions. We're certainly not, but what it does do is indicate that we are probably not going to be seeing these cold temperatures lasting for too long, although they may come back again into the second half of next week. A great 500 millibar chart, this one. Look at the strength of that jet stream, hoofing its way southwards, dragging in all this cold air across the UK, getting it down into central southern parts of Europe. Remember me telling you about how that air would eventually cut off across those southern parts of Europe, and what we would find is a cut-off low, something developing in here, and perhaps the jet trying to reform across the top. That's the sort of pattern that's trying to suggest at the moment, and it's one that we've certainly got to be watching for. Okay, what about the actual strengths of the jet stream? Well, just to put some numbers on it, this is what we're looking at right now. So these are the jet stream speeds for Saturday, and what they're showing through here are speeds of 130 knots, so about 140, 145 miles an hour. That's not actually too dramatic, but still, it's still strong enough to get you going. 850s for today looking like this, just illustrating really how cold the air is going to become. Ones, twos, threes, fours across the country generally with the 850s, but look at this, by Saturday we're down to -8s and -9s, hence the reason why any precipitation that falls is likely to be falling as snow. -5 is the critical number really at 850. That's the sort of temperatures that we look at for a greater than 50% probability of precipitation falling as snow. So certainly some really cold air getting in by Saturday. And snow depth as well is quite interesting to take a look at. Now bear in mind that this is obviously still a way in advance, and the models do go over the top of it, so best to think of these coverings as over high ground. But this is snow cover for Saturday morning, and you notice much of it across northern central parts of Scotland, also high ground of Northern Ireland, northeast England, and running down into parts of Wales and through the Midlands as well. And then this is snow for the end of Sunday, and across much of the hills of Scotland. 12 centimetres forecast in central parts of Scotland, 5 or 6 centimetres across the hills of Wales, and also running down through northeast England. Now, although I've said it's over high ground, it may not be exclusively over high ground. I think probably Saturday we get some transitional accumulations just about anywhere actually with those sort of 850 temperatures. Could well be that some of that hangs around into Sunday morning, and I think for Sunday probably the highest risk of snow at low levels is likely to be across northeastern parts of England, parts of the Midlands as well, but of course, like I say, snow over the hills of Scotland and also Wales. And just looking a little bit further ahead, well, the CFS actually picks out quite nicely on the transitional nature of this cold snap. These are the temperatures for the next 45 days. Yeah, treat them with a pinch of salt. But there is the increase in temperature next week. And when we see that sort of true thing as to what we think is going to happen next week in the CFS, it can build some confidence in the model going forwards. And then notice, yeah, it tries to come back for a second hit into next weekend and then recovers into the early part of December. And then we hold around with relatively mild temperatures until the final third of December. But look at that fall for Christmas. White Christmas? Who knows? Something to be watching out for. The CFS continues to maintain that cold snap right at the very end of the month. This is what it's doing for conditions overall in December. 200 millibar flow looking like this. Lower than normal heights and faster speeds towards the north. We're looking at higher than normal heights towards the south of the country. That increases the jet, so maintains this idea of an unsettled westerly flow. But what is interesting for the CFS is that it's toning down its temperature anomalies. This is the forecast anomaly for the whole of December, and essentially that's near to just above normal conditions across the UK, generally warm across the rest of Europe, but it's certainly eased these off from recent runs. And rainfall still going for the idea of this westerly blasting in, and the result of the westerly is western areas very wet, and wet too across many central parts of Europe. It's stuck with that idea throughout. So we've got to maintain the idea of this unsettled December and of it generally being a near normal month as far as temperature is concerned, perhaps just slightly above, but wet out towards the west. But I think what we need to watch for is that cold period right at the end. So lots going on, lots happening within the forecast at the moment. Do stay up to date. Don't forget to check out the fast forecast for the details for the next couple of days, and of course we'll be putting more in our regular musings. But for now, whatever you're doing, thanks again for watching. Keep the sun shining, and bye for now.